Timothy, been around now 25 years. As a matter of fact, celebrating this year, the 25th anniversary. And if you know anything about biblically responsible mutual fund companies, that's strictly all they do. You know there's not a whole lot of them out there, and none of them that have lasted this long. And what a blessing it has been. The reason for that is Art Alley and his team are far more committed to honoring God and not doing anything to grieve his heart like we are all trying to do than anybody I know other than myself, maybe. And it has been an amazing run for Timothy, and it's getting better. Art, welcome.
Good morning, Dan. How are you?
We are doing very well. We're very excited, Art, about what is happening with Timothy. And first of all, I say this for so many listeners and so many people that we do appreciate Timothy and the stance that you guys have been taking for 25 years to keep the investments that you make on behalf of so many of us out of those things that grieve God's heart. And we do appreciate your commitment to that.
Yeah, thanks. You said some very kind things, but can I correct the record, actually?
Sure.
Christ is the chairman of our board, and I am one big chicken. You know, when I try to stray off the reservation, he has this 2x4 with my name on it, and he uses it. But it's all him.
We know that too
he
well.
Called this, yeah.
Yeah, it is, and you know that's the way it is here as well. And we are so grateful that. But you know, it takes in today's world, not that it should, but it takes an awful lot of conviction and courage to stay strong in all of that when we're all being tugged in different directions. And that's one of the things that I try to teach here on the program, that this is a conviction. This is something that you've got to believe in and want to do more than anything else. And Timothy now, starting today, has some ETFs expanding their family of funds and diversification. And what a wonderful thing it is. Now, the difference between the ETF and the mutual fund, too, that people should note, although I think most do. I'm sure you're getting a lot of calls from our listeners. But we've got to go through a broker, and most of our listeners know that process. Most of them have brokers. And I would even venture to say that the vast majority of our partners buy Timothy through their broker, their mutual funds. So
Sure.
That is this only process in which they can get these mutual funds. They're not, these ETFs, they can't go directly to Timothy as they might be doing or have been doing with their mutual funds. And tell us your thoughts about how that all came about and what your goal is with these ETFs.
Well, sure, Dan. Actually, anybody can call us, and if they do not have a broker, it sounded a little complicated. If they don't have a financial advisor, it is the easiest thing in the world to set up an online trading account in order to purchase the ETFs. They can continue to subscribe to the mutual funds themselves through us, but our team will make it so easy. In probably less than a minute. They can have an account established, and the cost is either non-existent or very minimal to do that. But anyway, to answer your question, we do have, as you well know, and your listeners know, 13 different actively managed mutual funds covering all the asset classes. What we did not have was a passively managed investment product, in other words, an index fund, because we screen out so many of the various indices, the top companies, for their pursuing an unholy agenda, as we call it. But we found a sub-advisor in Victory Capital who had a system that was incredible in the way they manage these index funds. And they're a huge company, and they wanted, in fact, they came to us to see if we could figure out how to put Timothy into that index, the passively managed fund arena, and those are done through what's called ETFs or exchange-traded funds. They trade on the New York Stock Exchange. We actually did the launch yesterday. They're pretty active already. We're doing some press releases so people know about them. But it's you buy ETFs just like you do any stock, IBM or General Motors or anything else, right on the stock exchange. It's a bid and the asked. I would recommend that listeners put in limit orders because it all goes through market makers, and sometimes a market maker will expedite things, and you might end up paying a little more than you want to. But at any rate, we're excited about these products. We launched 2 of them yesterday that we do not have in our mutual fund family. One is a large cap core, and all that means it's just all large cap, whether they're value or growth, and we have 2 separate funds on either side of that equation. And we also launched something we've wanted to do for some time, a high dividend stock ETF that's actually going to pay monthly dividends to investors, and some of these companies really do pay rich dividends to their shareholders. So we're excited about them. We hope they're going to be well received in the community. And as you well know, our objective is to provide a high quality investment array of products that will align with people's biblically conservative views and objectives. And that's what Timothy is all about.
Yeah, and that's what we are trying to teach, that we all need to be about that first and foremost. And of course, we all want results, we want return, and that is very, very true in the industry. But at the same time, we do sometimes have to make a decision about our convictions and how important it is that we are honoring what God's wishes would be for the money that He has provided to us. And, this is an opportunity for a lot of people that don't want some of the complications that we provide in our stock portfolios and things like that. This is a great way to invest in a very easy, simple way. These are long-term holds, and we buy these and hold on to them. And I love the idea of having that, monthly dividend, and that is wonderful. And so we have an income portfolio here, and folks, most of you know about that, and so many of you follow that income portfolio. And you'll notice in the portfolio, the asset allocation models, this is one of the now areas that we've added to that income portfolio for our income people. So it is great to see what is happening not in the mutual fund ETF business, but what is happening with how God is blessing Timothy in such a powerful way. And you guys continue to be in his obedience and follow his lead as you develop these products for his people that really want to be committed to this strategy that is laid out there for us. So it is great that you're doing this. I would imagine that this is going to be extremely successful for the work that you guys are doing, and you're going to continue. You're always continuing to look to add to your family of funds.
Sure.
And I'm sure you'll continue to do that. Yep.
And we're not doing that for expansion or anything else, but to meet the full array of allowing people to do what's called asset allocation, which, as you know, is the key to a successful investment experience. We do have plans in, I don't know, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, to add 2 more ETFs, an international and a small cap core. And then we will continue, as it's prudent, to expand that offering. But, I would be remiss if I didn't just give you a commendation. Money is, as we know, and we've talked about, Dan, the biggest stumbling block Christians and non-Christians alike have. And the education you're doing through your broadcasts, the partnership we have together, the impact you're having on people's lives, in actually getting a handle on the proper way to do the investing side of things, is just of immeasurable value. And boy, we couldn't be more proud to be aligned with the work you're doing through your ministry and the radio broadcasts and the town hall meetings and besides that, you're not a bad economist as well, and that just makes it a great. But you're a sold-out Christian. That's rare today,
You know what?
We appreciate
Yes.
that.